dreams. I will see you where the ocean meets the sky. Under your toes, the fire grows. You are ready for a different kind of life. You're silent for the wind is calling. You must.
Good morning. Welcome to today's vlog. I just wanted to do a little vlog. Come down to do a couple of little time lapses. As you can see, it's a real nice day. It's a real nice day. So I thought it'd be nice to come down and do a couple of time lapses on Plymouth Hill, and just to really answer a couple of questions that people ask quite frequently. Basically, what do I do if my kid is, or I think my child is autistic, etc. First of all, go and see a GP. If you're not under healthcare services, go and see a GP. Excuse me, something in the eye. Go and see the GP. If they're already into nurseries, take them to get your SENCO at the nursery to get them an EHCP. This is massively important. We had a review of George's EHCP this week, and that's all been really positive. Just making sure my camera's not coming off. And get the EHCP in place so that you can get the correct level of care for the child. That's so important. The SENCO is the go-to person for that at the school, so make sure you do that. And if you believe in there's issues that need assistance with, don't give in, don't just accept the first person's refusal of it, and go and see your childcare services. GP is normally the first step if you're not under any health professionals' advice at the time, but make sure you do that, and just don't take no for an answer. If something isn't right, you'll know as parents. That's the first thing. So make sure that you do that. But we had the EHCP in the other day. Basically, they're going to carry on with his one-to-one support. They're happy he's in the right school. We're happy he's in the right school. He's getting the correct level of care. That's massively important for us to make sure he's safe and well looked after. First and foremost, before any educational needs were regarding will he ever do GCSEs, probably not. Who cares? That's not the be-all and end-all of education. It's educating him and getting him ready for the world, and that's the important thing for us. So go and see your GP, go and see your health professors, your SENCO at your nursery school. If you haven't got one, see the GP. That's the only route to go. Once then you get referred, then they'll start evaluating the child, and that's where the wait is. So as soon as you notice it, if it's 1 year old, we were being seen by professionals from 1 year old. Well, from birth really, but from 1 year old, get in there, because there's a wait to see childcare services, there's a wait to access CAMS, there's a wait to access everything. George has already had a referral to CAMS, and he's going to have a wait for that, so get it done, and just make sure that you don't hold back. But what a beautiful day. The boys are at school, Amy's out, we've got an appointment at 2 o'clock for his respite care, to arrange things for that. So I just thought I'd come down and get a couple of time lapses in the nice sun, and enjoy a bit of summer weather. As it's Friday, they're at school tomorrow. They're off school tomorrow, so we'll have a vlog with them tomorrow. So yeah, so I just thought I'd come down. This is Tinside Lido, the swimming pool behind me, and it's an open water, a seawater pool. It's not open all year. I think it's May till September-ish, roughly. But it's seawater, but because it's so shallow, it warms up pretty quick. But you can see where I am. It's like the opposite to where I'd done my time lapses last week. That. So yeah, just try to give you an update of where I am really. But yeah, I just thought it'd be nice to start the vlog somewhere else without the distraction of the boys and stuff. They're at school obviously, but I don't want to just stay home on a day like this. I had a few hours, so get out, enjoy a bit of fresh air while you're on your own. So yeah, once you've got the EHCP in place, then asking for schools, trying to get into specialist schools, which is massively important for kids with vast needs, especially like George. It's needed, you need it. Don't delay. If you feel at 1 year old that child isn't meeting the markers and the milestones, go and push the services, because they're there, you just have to push to access them.
rows of trees. I can see you where the ocean meets the sky, under our clothes.
So to add to that, what are some of the first things we noticed with our twins, which is why we access services? Sorry, I was just trying to find a quiet spot. I know you can't see the view here, but it's a bit easier with the swimming pool. I don't really want to film over the pool in case anyone thought it was weird. The first thing we noticed was they weren't hitting the early milestones, so they weren't hitting the red book. In England, I don't know about other countries, you get a developmental book, and basically it's not just their weight, it's their size, it's their weight, it's are they crawling, are they walking at the right time, have they started saying words, are they counting. It's basically the first about year you have health visitors come around, assess the child, make sure that they're healthy, make sure that they're being treated well, etc., which is all well and good. And it does put pressure on you, because you think, why is my child not walking, why is my child not paying attention, why am I getting no eye contact? And I mean no eye contact at all for the first 6 months, which was difficult. Why are they not saying mummy and daddy at a year old when other kids are saying mummy, daddy and all these types of things, which it stands out. I mean, I'm one of 9 children, and I saw my sisters grow up and they were all doing all that a lot earlier than mine. So we knew something wasn't right. Let's say something wasn't right, we knew they were different. That's what the key is. It's not that there's something wrong, but there's something different. So when you recognise that and accept that as a parent, that's when you need to access the help. But my main thing to say is don't stress about it and don't delay. As soon as you think the child is not where it should be, get help, because the quicker you get intervention, the quicker you can access the services that we did from a young age. They were both seen throughout after the pregnancy and after their early arrival at 28 weeks. And as soon as they were born, we accessed so many services, and we've been through everything. We've had portage work, which is an American type work, communication with them, play based. We had that for a year. We had an early years intervention team. We had every single service available. We've given it a go. Don't be afraid to give it a go and say, sorry, it's not for me. Give it a try. If it doesn't work for you or your child, then you'll know, and you can cancel that type of therapy or whatever you want to call it. Try all these things. I don't know, in America they have very similar types of things, I'm sure. And as soon as they were old enough and they were referred to the Child Development Centre, they went through a diagnosis process where they visited them in nursery school, visited them at home, took information off the Senko at the nursery. All these services added to them getting a quick early diagnosis, which I know for many is the main very difficult thing. Getting a diagnosis when you know that the child is autistic, or you think that they're ASD, or you think they've got Asperger's, or whatever you want to bracket you want to put it under. And if you do it early enough, you can get the support, mental support as well, because it's not easy. You think we're going to have a lovely 2 children, we're going to have lovely days out to the seaside. I couldn't bring mine here, not without holding them constantly. They'd be running off, and you can see all these railings. They'd be over the top of them. They'd be jumping over the top of them and trying to climb over them. They just wouldn't be safe, and that isn't normal for a child. Most children at 5 years old can do these sorts of things and listen to simple instructions, and our 2 just don't do that. They're getting better. Matthew certainly needs more higher functioning, but George's needs a lot more care, especially personal care, hygiene, and doing nappies and changing him and keeping him safe. He's got no danger awareness at all. Matthew isn't great, but he's better than George in that respect. But he has a lot more social anxiety issues with noise and stuff like that. So access the services. I'm going to ask Amy later on in this video to add to it what she thinks about what the important thing for us getting the early intervention and what helped, and see what she says if it differs from what I said. But especially, you've got to put that child first. Put aside your own pride, because people don't want to say my child's autistic. They don't want to say I've got something wrong with my child. Everyone wants to think that their child's perfect. They are perfect physically, they just need a little bit of help. So get them the help. Don't, for your own sake, be selfish and not get them the support that's there if needed. So I'm going to have a walk up and sit by the lighthouse, add a little time lapse in, just so you can have a check out the lighthouse. And I've got about an hour before I've got to head back, so I'm going to get something from the cafe, drink, and just enjoy a bit of sunshine. It's very rare that we get to do this. Amy's, like I said, has gone to spend the morning with her friends. She's not done anything all week on her own pretty much. She's been taking it a lot easier because of her FND. And it's important to get these little bits of quiet time on your own, or with your partner if you've got a partner. If you haven't, find the time when the kids at nursery, if it's an hour, to go and sit in a cafe in a supermarket while you get your shopping, and just take a breath. Take these services, just, you know, I think the thing is, a lot of people, they don't like admitting that there's something wrong with the child. There isn't anything wrong with the child, they're just different, and they need the support, and with the early intervention they will get the support that they need to thrive, and that's where we're heading. It's a long road, it's not an easy road. Ours are 5, they were diagnosed at 3 years old, so they've both had a diagnosis of ASD or autism diagnosis since 3 years old. And coming to terms with it as parents, I think we're getting there now ourselves. It takes time. There's still days where you think, oh, why can't we just have a nice, normal, easy family? Where would the fun be in that? You know, I love these 2 kids, the same as everyone loves all their kids, but I think they've been given to us for a reason, because we can help care for them in the best way possible and give them a good life. So that's what we're doing. You know, you just have to swallow your own pride and accept that you need help when you need help. If you've got family and friends that will help you, take their help, take their offer of help, because we've got a lot of family and friends, but it's very difficult to leave them with people, extremely difficult, because they're not used to them. The boys play up, the people that would offer to look after them don't look after them often enough, so that makes it very hard for them to deal with it. So if we do anything, we'll put them to bed and someone will come and sit at ours from 7 PM, whilst we might go out and have something to eat and things like that. But now they're at school, it is easier because we get a bit of time where we can go and do things like this. I can come and sit and have a coffee, Amy can go out for lunch with her friends, she can go shopping with her friends and pick up whatever it is they like to buy, household cleaning stuff, whatever it is. It's just a way of getting out of the house and not being cooped up all day long. I understand for people that have got children that are under school age, it's even more difficult. We've been through it, we've done it. We've done that bit, and that was extremely hard, especially as I was working and Amy was at home with twins all day long, having to do everything for them. It's difficult, but keep at it. You're all doing a great job, and we're just trying our best. So we'll just, I'll leave it there for a second.
Feel just like you were young again. Standing underneath the rows of trees, I can see where the ocean meets the sky.
And that's my little time off and adventure over. It's about, what time is it? 13:21, and we've got a meeting at 2 o'clock. Sorry for the shaky, but I'm walking. So I've got to get back to the car, and this vlog will finish off at home, and I want to try to get Amy's input into what I've been talking about. So I'm nearly at the car, and I'll catch you back in a little while. What are we doing?
I don't know.
What are we going to go do now?
I'm going to McDonald's.
And what are we going to get from McDonald's?
Ice cream.
Ice cream, because it's so hot.
Yes, it's so hot.
And what are you going to have to eat?
Chicken nuggets, french fries, drink, and a Happy Meal and
What?
ice cream.
Okay, that sounds good. What did you do at school today?
Trains.
Trains.
No.
Lego?
I haven't done trains, I did Legos.
Lego, okay. We're waiting for George now, so it'll be pick George up, then it'll be McDonald's. So he's not in his chair yet because it's too hot on that side, so he's sat in the middle for now. You can't sit there when it's time to go though, okay?
Okay.
Again, what you just did.
So gross.
Show me again. Do it in there.
No.
What did you do?
It's gross.
What did you do?
We put sweets in a ketchup.
Sweets in your ketchup. Is it gross? Is it gross?
Hello, it is Friday afternoon. We've just come back from the boys' Friday treat of McDonald's, and Adam's asked me to come on and just do a quick talk about the signs of autism. Well, basically what we thought were the early signs. So when they were 1 year old and we were coming up to their next NICU appointment, I just had noticed for a while before that they just didn't stop, and especially with George's speech, like he'd said a couple of words and then it just stopped, everything stopped, he didn't say anything. So yeah, just the way that he was just non-stop from the second that he got up. And I remember we took him into the 1 year appointment and I just said, look, something's not right. And he saw it straight away because they were climbing all over the bed and everything like that. So that was the first sort of major milestone when I realised that something wasn't right. Obviously we had the benefit, I mean, we didn't see it as a benefit at the time, but we had the benefit of the boys because they were in NICU. We went through the NICU consultant and then the referrals just went from there. Now when we tried to get them into nursery, my health visitor was more than unhelpful and said there was nothing wrong with them, it was just my parenting. If anybody ever says that to you, trust your gut. I told my health visitor to leave and not come back. She said she would do the referral for nursery, but on it she'd put that I was suffering with depression and whatever. I said, you put whatever you want on that form, just get them into nursery. So eventually they were accepted into nursery, and then by the end of probably second week, nursery had said that they'd noticed that something, especially with George, wasn't right. It was later on down the line that they said they agreed the same with Matthew, but George was more prominent. So anyway, it went on to Portage. Portage were good. We had City, they did different activities, helped with school nursery runs. We had outreach. So we'd tried like a few avenues, but I'd say if you think there's any signs of autism in your child, your first stop is obviously the GP, and then they can take it from there. But what I would stress is if you feel like something isn't right with your child, don't let anybody fob you off, because your child, you know them best. So don't let anybody fob you off. So I'd say if there's like regression in speech, if they're quite obsessive over like routine and everything like that, and alarm bells start to go, then if they're not already in nursery or school, go to your doctor and they can help you on from there. So yeah, that's what I'd say. Whether Adam agrees with me, I'm sure he's made this same video 30 minutes long, we'll see. But compared to, especially when they were 1 year old, compared to other children their age, they were just totally different. I could spot it a mile off. Being a first time mum, I just knew something just told me. So the way that they used to line toys up with their meltdowns, they weren't just tantrums, they're meltdowns, those are two very different things. Sometimes with their sleep being up ridiculously early, that's obviously still happens now. So yeah, doctors, if they're in nursery or school, talk to nursery and school about it. They get referrals going, anything helps. So yeah, that's what I'd say. And hopefully you get treated seriously and you don't get fobbed off. And if you do get fobbed off, I always found that the people that screamed the loudest get heard the most. And I've had to put that into practice a lot of times. So yeah, good luck is what I say. And I hope you have a positive outcome and get treated fairly and get treated with respect, and don't be fobbed off by the answer that it's just your parenting, because, well, no is the answer to that. So be as stubborn as you like, trust your gut, trust your children, speak to, join autism groups, support groups, speak to people on there, get advice from other parents. You know, I know they say that you meet one child with autism, you met one child with autism, and that is true, but for the wider picture I'd say there are similarities. So yeah, just talk to other autism parents and get familiar, and then go to your nearest port of call, GP, nursery, school, speak to the family support officer, speak to the SENCO of the school, and just take it from there really, and they'll guide you in the right direction. Hope that helps.
So that is today's video. You're going to show us a dance fight. Matthew's going to show you a dance fight in a minute because he's watching Minions. They're watching Minions. So yeah, we've been to McDonald's, as I'll put a little tiny clip in. Hopefully, man, I'm brown and red at the same time. I'm sorry, I'm a bit close and the light's a bit, that is a bit red. Yeah, hopefully just some of those things that we've covered today help you have a bit of confidence in yourself and your own thoughts and your own children, and go and seek the relevant help to get the early intervention for your child or children, and don't let anyone mess you around. That's our sort of tip, and I've just watched Amy's clip back before editing and it pretty much echoes everything I said. So we're obviously, I didn't tell her what to say, I just told her what I wanted her to speak about and let her film it when I wasn't even there, just to see if it would match up with the sort of thing that I think I spoke about earlier on in the day. And it seems to match up because it's the same experience that we've had, obviously slightly different. We do see things differently sometimes, and we don't always agree with everything that professionals have said to us, or sometimes we'll have a different opinion over what's best for the twins, but in all we want is the best. So sometimes I might have a better idea and Amy's not sure, and it works out well. Sometimes it's the way around. So that's it. George, you gonna say bye?
Hello! Yeah.
Say hello.
Daddy. Hello. Daddy.
Are you gonna say bye bye?
Daddy, I want to show you something.
What, show us a dance fight? Go on then. Dance fight.
Dance fight.
Show us the dance fight then. No, show us. There. That's it. That's the end of today's vlog. I'm going to go before they hijack the camera and start attacking me, and hopefully that helps. I've got to get them ready for bed before Amy goes out for bingo. So we'll catch you again soon, and please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you subscribe so we know you're watching, and give us some comments and let us know what you think. We'll speak to you again soon. Bye.